Secret Chief, for all you people being here. Part of the problem, no one knows what's going on because nobody keeps it a secret. And unless you really do a lot of investigating or know people firsthand, it never gets past. It never makes the papers, the truth. The truth very rarely makes the papers. They snuff it out unless there's video evidence or enough witnesses. The truth is never what it seems. Even right now, as you hear that, that's a coal train. An uncovered coal train that is letting coal into the salmon, into the water, into our lungs, into my child's hair, where they're going to breathe less oxygen because the profit people at 360 Strategies and all the other firms who lobby for this bullshit so they can poison us and make millions off of it and have an easier life while we struggle harder. And I never realized it was a big thing until I went crabbing up in Bellingham and I left and I came back 2 days later and my car was gray. And I asked everyone, well, why is it gray? And they said, oh, the coal trains. You know, the gold. And I said, no, they got to cover them. It's against the law. And they, oh, no, the lobbyists, they don't got to cover them no more. Meaning that it's okay for them to poison every single day all of the water around us, whether it's fresh, salt, anything. It's all poison every day by these people. Because they don't care about us. They never have. We don't contribute to their society in their terms and their way of accepting us. So we don't matter. They could care less if we all died off. And they'd be just as happy as long as they could sit on their gold. And it's insane that profit has took over their motive for life. They don't care about anything else. These people will be happy taking off to Mars or wherever they think they're going after they murder this planet. And it's sad. Now that they discovered water on other planets, oh, bless believe they're going to up their killing this planet because it doesn't matter anymore. Now we know where we can go. And we just got to make it long enough to keep our civilization.
And so if it wasn't for your efforts, we would have never known that this happened.
Yep.
We would have never known that a houseless person, after being a victim of a houseless raid, froze to death because of the actions of Solid Waste Management and Mayor Quinton Lucas. We went to his house. We warned them that this would happen. The very next day. And
2 blocks from Mayor Lucas's home.
So Scott froze to death 2 blocks from Mayor Quinton Lucas's house. 2 blocks. And the day before, we went out to Mayor Lucas's house and begged him to stop the houseless sweeps because people were going to freeze to death if you kept taking their blankets. The very next day, someone froze to death. Scott's death is on Mayor Lucas's hands. His blood is on Mayor Lucas's hands, and I hope that Scott's family sues the shit out of the city. I hope they sue Solid Waste Management. I hope they sue Mayor Lucas directly because this is a direct result of his failures as a mayor. So this is beyond just something for social media. There are so many issues that are not being brought to light until activists.
All these people have nowhere to go tonight. They have nowhere to go. I think it was 150 people that were here tonight getting food and supplies. And, their places were swept, so now they have to figure out other items to get their items back. They have to get their blankets, their tarps, to keep it dry. So it's dry.
Are they doing raids tonight?
I heard that it was happening earlier today. That there was a raid earlier today.
I didn't mean to keep totally shoot that.
Yeah, they're going on today.
The call was put out to get help.
Okay, so Mayor Lucas has instructed the raids to keep going. He has not intervened as of right now. So
I commented on his Instagram page and I was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to say something? Because this gentleman died in your backyard and he was a good man. He was
with a family. And I mean, he was kind. He sat down with my son many times. I've known him. It wasn't like I met him a few times. I've known him for years. And this was a good man that didn't deserve to die in the cold. Misha. And I'm going to go to Misha. Are you, did you want to say a few words? Because you were actually one of the caseworkers. Are you wanting to go on live?
I can't. If you wanted me, I can't.
You cannot. Okay. Okay. And so there are other people, like right now we're in Washington Park. right by the Western Auto, right across from Sun Life, Lathrop Gage. Big boy law firms are down here. This is in Washington Park. You have the ability to help out houseless people today. I put a link. You can donate to Creative Innovative. Also, KC Free Hot Soup KC. Free Hot Soup KC, you can donate to them. If you have blankets, if you have food that you can donate, how can people help? Because I see that you guys are packing up stuff. This is KC Heroes. How can people come out and help your mission to help the houseless people to prevent this from happening again?
Both KC Heroes and Free Hot Soup have a Facebook page that has general information about everything. But we have like an Amazon wish list that has cold weather items on it that we like handing out. Boots, blankets, clothes, jackets, all that can be donated to either group. We can definitely hand it out to people in the streets right now.
There is a desperate need for coats.
Yeah.
We've been going through 200 coats a week, and we didn't have enough coats for that. There's out of coats. And you can't survive in this weather for long without coats.
Yeah. And by this time of the night, everybody you see left is going to be sleeping outside.
Good presidents, give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No cops, no KKK, no racist
Kimberly.
USA.
No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
No cops, no KKK, abolish USA. Thanks, Heather.
No KKK, USA.
No
No cops,
No KKK, no
abolish
USA. Sorry, guys.
To the streets,
To Amish streets.
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 brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make this system fall.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn this system to the ground.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make this system fall.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn this system.
As they have money available, including, I think it's artists helping the homeless. But also, we'll have people come and pick up. If they have food, if they have clothing, we will get people to come and pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for you guys' hard work. I'm going to get back to, is there is there a protest? Is there a press conference? Is that still going on?
There's actually, I don't know, I think she's done with the news thing.
Okay.
There's a gentleman who's staying in that tent. It looks like a pile of trash in that corner, but he's actually staying in there tonight.
Okay, so If you are watching right now, if you're watching right now on this live feed, we have 130 people. If you are one of the 130 people that's tuned in right now, I need you to share this on your page because there's information on this post that could save somebody's life. We've literally lost someone, and that knowledge would not have been public knowledge if it wasn't for activists. The activists in Kansas City are literally saving lives. They've, with the help of the community, they've been gathering coats, blankets, money, food, tents, anything that you have that you can donate. If you could help us out, if you could help this situation out, please go to one of their pages, and then they will figure out a way to come get it from you. And so we're going back to the circle. Hi. Hey, are you leaving? You're leaving?
I'm leaving.
Okay.
Bye. Did you get that? His life matters. And it did.
So thank you so much. Okay, you know what? I'll be in touch. We're gonna try to get some more stuff.
And I'm sure you all are tired of people having to die to learn where we're making mistakes in the economic and social exploitation of people. Right? And I'm tired of us always having to ask or putting ourselves in a position to ask and taking the things that they know that they shouldn't do. And so with our minds and our talents and our skills, we can build something sustainable and get these people warm. Right? Get them equipment that they need and the resources that they need. And so I'm not here to take anyone's toes, but I do want to work collaboratively with each and every one of you because it is our responsibility. I'm sorry?
Name.
General Indigenous
Okay.
of the Roman State Black Panther Party. Right? And so we are very, very deep in the community and we are wanting to do community work. And so we are down to the hard work. And every week, anytime you need us, just let us know.
Thank you.
Nobody has to die in order to know where we're making mistakes. That's our own self-defeat.
This is on the lettuce and prospect every Sunday. Stacey, what is it?
Oh,
You are.
We'll get in contact with them. We'll make sure that our chapter understands what the initiatives are, what the needs are to people, and we'll come out and collaborate.
Thank you.
All right?
So, are there any other groups that, because I'm on live right now, and so are there any other groups that are doing houseless outreach that people, there's 138 people online right now, or on watching us right now. Is there any other groups that do work that want to talk about their group?
I don't think there's any that are here. I think
Gotcha.
we've all represented a group here.
Yeah.
But I think with that email zap, we can include resources and make sure that the community can hear about all the other.
For me. Duwamish streets. 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 Oh my God.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
If we don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace. That was a good hill.
For those of you on the buses, we are marching for indigenous sovereignty. This land is stolen and it needs to be given back. All this land, all of King County. This is all Duwamish land. You are all standing in Duwamish territory. This land was never given to colonists. It was taken by force. And they need to give the land back before we take it by force.
Yee! Fuck yeah, take it all back. Take it all back.
This racist government has been suppressing its people for too long.
Facts.
Anytime a revolution starts to pop its head out, they start eliminating its leaders. They start neutralizing the people leading. They start neutralizing the people educating. They kill off anyone who can pose a threat to their rule. This is disguised as a democracy. The American empire is evil.
Yes.
There's no reason for us to be in all the countries that we're in. There's no reason for us to have a military as big as it is. There's no reason for there to be well over 800 military bases in other countries.
Fuck, it's gonna get wet.
I don't want another aircraft carrier. I want fucking housing.
Facts. Oh shit, dude.
No cops! No KKK abolish USA!
No cops! No KKK abolish USA!
No cops! No KKK abolish USA! No cops! No KKK abolish USA! No cops!
No KKK.
I've met with the Parks Department. People have been marching, they've been protesting, and these politicians don't care about people in this city. They don't care about poor people. They do not care about houseless people. No one would have known that Scott passed away if it was not for activists. Nobody would have known how many raids are happening in this city if it wasn't for people that are being activists in this city. And so if you don't have the ability to come out here, I totally understand. I totally understand that. I don't always have the ability to do it either. But you can help from home by emailing Mayor Lucas. You can help from home by emailing Solid Waste Management. You can help from home by even just sharing this content, because there is a lot of helpful content on here that may save somebody's life. And so I'm going to join the strategy meeting out here. Actually, you know what? I'm just so pissed off about this because we literally told Mayor Lucas at his house, went to his house on the last day of the year and said, you need to stop the houseless raids because people are going to die. One day later, a 42-year-old man freezes to death. So we have Hernandez Finch, we have Terrence Washington, we have Leah Hamlet-Lunn, Leela Kyle, Tanya Moody, Halitha I'm Free, Grady Felder, Angie Howard, Esther Holzendorf, hi Sister Holzendorf, Tommy Simmons, and shout out.
Housing is a human right.
Healthcare is a human right. Water is a human right.
Water is a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Healthcare is a human right.
Healthcare is a human right.
Water is a human right.
Water is a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Housing is a human right.
Healthcare is a human right.
Healthcare is a human right.
Water is a human right.
Water is a human right.
Capitalism will try to make a dollar off of anything they can. They don't care if your life is on the line. They do not care if you're freezing to death. They don't care if you're drinking dirty water. Capitalism will make a dollar off of you somehow. You'll take your water, you'll withhold health care, and they'll watch you freeze. With all these millions of empty houses, they will still let you freeze. We have to start undoing
Seattle, Washington.
the conditioning. Capitalism has society brainwashed. Capitalism gives you the false hope that one day you're going to be a billionaire. That one day your hard work will pay off. As the government steals your retirement money. This capitalist system has got to go.
I done fucked up putting my umbrella away. My phone got all wet. I'm gonna have to dry this off really quick, you guys.
You let yourself get here. Well, we're gonna put an end to it.
I need to get my fucking...
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets!
Whose streets?
Duwamish streets!
Whose streets? 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 No good cops
Sorry,
in a
guys.
racist system. No bad protesters
I
in a
need to keep my
revolution.
umbrella up.
No good cops in a racist system. No bad
Forgot how to
protesters
use
in
an
a
umbrella. Fuck
revolution.
me. Oh my god, there you go.
No good
Sorry,
cops
guys.
in a racist system. No bad protesters in a revolution. No good cops in a racist system. No good cops, no good president. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents. Fuck, I hate not having my gimbal.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we will make the system fall.
We'll make this system fall.
Every city, every town, burn the system to the ground.
Every city, every town, burn the system.
He lost everything twice. Imagine somebody coming to your house and saying, you know what? We're going to take all of your stuff. We're taking all of your stuff, and then we're going to throw it away. And then you just have to survive on whatever the clothes that you have on your back. That is what's happening to people, and nobody is doing anything. Our politicians are not doing anything. Okay? Solid Waste Management has been giving orders to throw people's blankets, their medicine, anything that could help them survive out here. If it's not on their body, they're throwing it away. They're literally forcing them out of places in the city and throwing it away in the dead of winter. You can help do something. You can help doing something by liking, sharing, and commenting. We need this to go viral because Mayor Lucas does not do anything unless he is forced to do it. He just does not. He is refusing to act. He is refusing to act until you make him do it. Email him. You have the email address. Follow KC, Free Hot Soup KC. Follow Homeless United. Follow Creative Innovative Entrepreneurs. Follow KC Tenants. Follow these organizations because they are out here doing the work to help keep people not only safe, but to keep them alive. That is what we're struggling with right now. We are trying to keep people alive. And the reason why we're out here right now is that there's not any attention on this issue. Nobody is stopping the raids. What are we going to have to do to stop people from getting their medicine thrown away, from getting their blankets thrown away? I don't even understand. We've gone to all the city council meetings. We've written all the letters. We've written emails. We've phone called. We've gone to your house. We've gone to your job. We've camped out for 21 days. What is it going to take for this administration to start taking this issue seriously? What is it going to take? I'll take any meeting. There are plenty of activists here. They will take meetings. They'll make the phone calls. They're doing the work. They're raising the money. But something has got to change. Mayor Quinton Lucas. Mayor Quinton Lucas. Stop the damn raids. Make the phone calls. Make the phone call to stop the raids tonight. Because any more people die, it's on you, Quinton Lucas, because you could have stopped it. You could have stopped it tonight. So we're going to see. We have activists all over the city. There are activists all over the city monitoring the raids, monitoring to see when the raids are going to happen, and giving mutual aid. You can help them by inboxing one of those organizations. They have instructions to Cash App or to donate or to drop off things. And so make sure you all tap into the awareness to more awareness to this issue, because something has got to change, because we can't have people continually dying because our city council does not want to do anything. And if you say, hey, we're strapped for cash, the police get $273 million. The police get $273 million a year while people are literally freezing to death on the streets. And so there needs to be a priority in the city budget. Shout out to all of the people that are working on the people's budget, that are working on the People's Commission. If you have any way that you can help any of these efforts, you can inbox me or you can contact those organizations. Okay, until next time. Hey, Cynthia Davis. We are going to continue. We're going to continue doing some work out here. I'm going to jump off so I can see how I can be of assistance. But until next time, all power to the people. Good luck and God bless.
Fuck the police. Facts. Oh my lord. I'm sorry, you guys. I was struggling with the umbrella. If it gets wet, I'm sorry. I just have to wipe it a little bit. I cannot do both. I'm not multitasked.
I don't know about you, but I don't think that we have someone coming in and showing us a new way of life.
Yep.
We're supposed to just adhere to. I hate when it happens to us,
Yeah,
and I
that's
hate
okay.
it when
Thank you so much.
perpetuates that on other nations.
It's windy, y'all, but we're still out here.
We don't need to be meddling in other countries. Bullshit.
Facts.
No.
Sorry, guys.
A little bit of history. After the Cold
I'm
War,
sorry, you probably can't hear with the wind.
participating in
Let me
proxy
get
wars.
close.
Developing nations. This country is a friend continent. They really want their money. They really don't want it to go. There's no way. That's one of the huge failures of capitalism. We have enough. We're not just sell it. We need to make more money and then take that money. They want this. Everything is designed to be this way. Society was designed to be this way. They want us they want us to have just enough that we don't riot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just enough.
Yep.
Speaking of proxy wars, if you give me a chance, I can say something about that's happening right now.
Yeah.
This dude's from Ethiopia. He was here last night at BAC. He's really trying to get support. I'm trying to help him, man.
Okay. Just to piggyback on Bobby's idea about proxy wars that America wages around the world. Many of you know that the State Department funds puppet regimes around the world against indigenous people for money, right? For capitalism. So currently Ethiopia is doing the same thing. The State Department. You guys know what the State Department is?
Well, it's the American Foreign Affairs thing. So they use this clandestine funding mechanisms to take land, and for what they call American interests is actually business interests. If you read Noam Chomsky, he explains it a lot. And currently in Ethiopia, the government of Ethiopia, which is a puppet region for the American government, is committing genocide on the Tigrayan population. It's the Tigray is the north region of Ethiopia, and what so Eritrea, Ethiopia, and UAE drones are like carpet bombing the region in blackout. So there is no electricity, which they needed for like what is it called? Grinding flour and anything for cooking and everything. And there is no electricity, there is no water, and the people are running out of the towns because they cannot. Because the army is killing civilians and like sexual violence against women, and they're living in the mountains, in the woods, which means they don't have supplies for living. And it's basically what America did in the so-called Indian Wars. And the idea is because Tigray they speak Tigrinya, and they're kind of more assertive population, and they resist. The idea is to submit to the population to submit to the puppet regime in Ethiopia. So what's happening is absolutely horrifying. If you check the stories of some, because we don't know what's happening actually, but if you hear the stories of refugees in Sudan, it's horrifying. So just a warning, you will hear a lot of atrocities and stuff like that. So I guess what I'm saying is, what the U.S. government applied for indigenous peoples in the U.S., in the so-called U.S. Or the Territorial Island, is they're doing it in other countries. So it's not the wars, the counter-insurgency wars that the United States did in the Territorial Island. They're doing it as well. So one thing as a project people can think of is to democratize the State Department, because you guys do not know what the U.S. government is doing in your name. So I wanted to piggyback. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you for telling us. Thank you. Oh, fuck you guys. I think I hear bitches.
As you can tell, the tyranny of the United States is
Sorry,
felt
guys.
all over the world. This country.
Sorry, guys.
Ask me, is that it's not the
Struggling
people
today. I'm
like
sorry.
we're not the ones making this happen.
Repetimos, este es el panorama que hay hasta ahora en el distrito de Chalaco del Callao, con grandes montículos de basura.
A esos señores para enfrentarse, el alcalde ha querido pagarle 70 soles a los señores, con engaños han venido a decir, ¿para qué? Para que haya una disputa entre nosotros. No es posible, él tiene que cumplir con nuestros derechos de los trabajadores, que estamos nosotros ya 5 días, señorita. Somos padre y madre para nuestros hijos.
¿Cuánto ustedes le pagaban, señora, diariamente para hacer la limpieza?
40 soles. 40 soles, señorita. No,
Sí.
38 soles, señorita. No es posible, señorita.
Señorita.
No quiere
¿Por qué
señorita?
el alcalde Pedro López, por qué nos hace esto? Si él nos dijo que nosotros éramos sus guerreras, sus guerreros, hemos estado en toda la pandemia arriesgando nuestra vida, tantos compañeros que han fallecido. Tengo 17 años trabajando acá y no es justo lo que él nos hace. Deja 1.600 trabajadores, pero si tiene para pagar a otra gente, por favor. Señor Pedro López, póngase la mano al pecho, piense en los trabajadores, ¿qué quiere que haga? ¿Un muerto?
¿Por qué no les han renovado el contrato a Slim?
Es que hay dos planes de trabajo, ¿ya? Los regidores están pidiendo que continúe el IN con mejorías para los trabajadores, y el señor Pedro López está pidiendo que continúe el IN, pero tal como está, ni un beneficio para nosotros. A nosotros, como él dice, la anterior gestión dejó mucha deuda, está bien, los pactos colectivos que ellos nos han quitado, cuando ellos se vayan, también van a dejar otra deuda en el IN Callao. Lamentablemente nosotros somos los que pagamos, Pero yo le digo, señorita, mire, no es justo lo que usted hace. El Señor ha querido que pase todo esto. Nosotros estamos haciendo nuestra marcha pacífica. No desmentimos en su totalidad que dicen que nosotros rompemos la bolsa. Nada. Son 5 días que la ciudad está sin limpiar. Esas son las consecuencias de toda esta bomba de tiempo que es de la basura. El único culpable es el alcalde Pedro López.
Gracias, muy amable la señora. Vamos a terminar la transmisión en estos momentos para poder también enlazarnos a través de la plataforma de radio. Repetimos, panorama que hay a esta hora de la noche en el distrito Chalaco de El Callao. Un buen número de trabajadores de la empresa Slim están realizando un plantón y se han enfrentado en un momento con un grupo de personas que estaban realizando las limpiezas y que indican ellos fueron contratados por el mismo municipio de El Callao para limpiar las calles, pero ellos en realidad están en contra porque les han pagado un promedio de 50 soles y ellos les remuneran entre 35 a 40 soles diarios. Directo en directo, RPP Noticias. Facts.
They're just following orders. They think that's what they have to do. It's kind of sad when you see a heartwarming story where a cop... Fuck you. When a cop lets someone go because...
Fucking douchebag.
Thank you.
Fucking
Bye,
piece of
Karen.
shit. Sorry, Kobe.
When they go to training, when they go to academies, they're being taught that police deaths are on the rise, that you have to act quickly. I understand that when shit goes down and you're all alone, you want to be able to call someone to come protect you. But you don't want to call them because chances are they're not going to protect you. That's because they have a quota to make. That's part of capitalism. That's part of the problem, is that they have a quota to make.
We'll go further with that. You still gonna go further on it, correct?
And all the rest.
Put y'all on overtime. Let's put these trucks and cars in motion. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Over a fucking expired tag. And in Indiana, literally, if your tag is expired, they give you 6 months to get it situated. You will get a warning and you go the fuck about your way. But once again, when they know who you are, this is the definition of targeting, harassment, profiling. I mean, all the list. I mean, they've literally went down the list of bullshit. All of the bullshit. Hey, what are we waiting for to put the gun back in the car? Hey, what are we waiting for? Just like I did last night. Hey, what are you waiting for? What is he waiting for to put your gun back? Paperwork for what? It takes 2 minutes to do paperwork. Like, goddamn. I guess Boley took the night off tonight to go fuck with somebody.
Make sure that gun get back in the bin.
If it don't report it stolen, because they certainly didn't have a warrant to take it.
Sorry, I don't have my gimbal, so this phone is all over the place. But literally, I just try to get in the house. As soon as I get in the house. So here we are, guys. So in Indiana, every time I've been pulled over with the expired tag, I've been told I have up to 6 months to get it cleared. Regardless of what you want to comment. If I'm wrong, you need to tell the officer who informed me. No. They're supposed to put the gun back in the vehicle, and then told that they're allowed to do what you're going to do with the vehicle. But property goes back. But yeah, cocksuckers ain't did shit all damn day. We want to come out here and be brave tonight. 2021 is so. 2021 is so bright of lights, warning signs, trigger words, and pussies.
Hey, no, that's his personal paperwork. That's like taking his own medical record. Y'all fucked up. Like, really fucked up.
And you all seen my live stream where when that one guy got pulled over, the cops actually just pulled that guy's car. They literally put the guy's car on the side of the road so it wouldn't be in any harm's way. So they arrested the criminal and allowed the criminal to place his vehicle off the road safely. But my nigga Braylon does nothing. He's an entrepreneur. He works for himself. He works. And this is how they treat him. Do I deserve to be treated this way for a expired tag?
We're gonna be over here too because of us.
Like, you have to realize this is the bullshit.
So I'm gonna just break 1,000 motherfuckers over here on y'all to make them do the same thing. Y'all got to wear cameras even when y'all sleep and use the bathroom. Watch. I'm telling you, I got a whole team of lawmakers on our side. We'll get law and legal paralegals on this side to do the same thing to y'all, bro. I'm telling you, bro, because y'all stand here and let the men do all this shit. Don't put the just put it in the car, bro. It don't matter if it's loaded or not. He got his permit, bro. Like, they know.
Hey, Debbie, eat a dick. How can you make a situation better as a civilian when police are bullying? Shut the fuck up.
They can talk. No, look. Their law, Indiana law says if the tag expired, they can tow the car. That's cool. We'll take that. But she got it. Let's roll, bro.
So I guess I will be getting Braylon's car out tomorrow because of this bullshit. Okay, Debbie, you still talking. When the police come and take your guns illegally, I would love to see a video of Debbie bitching. 2021 is a great year.
Everybody get on the sidewalk.
This year y'all gonna work this year. I'm on show y'all gonna work.
Let's get on the sidewalk. Yeah, on their top, I just got out. They thought it was me. He harassed us last night. He thought it was me.
So I want y'all to realize, you see how I'm telling you, these are my Louisville people. They come over here and they've only been 48 hours.
I just got out of there.
48 hours. Literally, and we're harassed by the same motherfuckers. You feel me? The same people harassing you over and over and over. No peace. No peace. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace. No peace.
Hey, we are over here. We gonna be 1,000, 2,500 strong.
Sleeping dogs. I know y'all watching.
Hey,
this is your neighborhood.
Eat a good meal.
You say you want to do unity, right? Show me how you do unity. You fight for Second Amendment or Sleeping Hollow Dog, whatever y'all name is. Y'all fight for Second Amendment rights, right? Where y'all at? This is your city.
You got 30 days to get your actual plate on your car after your
So why you throwing the car? Because the Indiana is if the tag on fire, they can't throw the car. Why not switch it up? Hold on, why are you in the trunk?
Come on, inventory. Talk about inventory. So nothing gets stolen out of this trunk.
That's a search. That's a search, bro.
Like, get out the trunk. Hey, you get your bitch ass back.
Take your bitch ass
literally, they said they're checking his car for inventory, but yet they're still searching. As if they're looking for something. Oh, I want to find something. Oh, I want to find something. Know where he live at. I see y'all at Salisbury in the morning. And also, I want to fill in that this is the same officer, one of them, the same one who was harassing Chris last night, or the night before, whichever night that was. So once again, this is a repeated pattern of going from Louisville to Indiana and being harassed by Indiana. You know, it's just crazy. I mean, guys, have y'all ever seen someone's car been, I mean, literally, I seen a guy who had a felony. They pulled his car into a rally so it wouldn't get towed. My man has expired tags and they're towing his car. And you wonder why people are, No, they did not arrest Braylon. Braylon is over here. They were trying to take Braylon's gun. They were trying, as you see, to take the vehicle. Tell me, can anyone tell me why that is so important? Once again, I'm a person who's been driving most of my life with a suspended license. And when I get pulled over, 9 times out of 10, I'm being let go unless I'm being harassed and just being picked on. Other than that, I'm let go with the tag. I'm allowed to pull my car over to the side of the road, you know, come back and get my car. Don't pull off. But to actually tow a man's car in COVID-19, show me how you are financially thinking about someone else's pockets right now. I mean, it's COVID right now. Our family's not struggling. Do people not need $2,000 in their bank account right now? Yeah, he got a problem because he a hoe. You say yeah? So you got to antagonize him? He just got here. He knew. He ain't been on the field long enough, clearly. You got this guy right here talking shit to people.
You black and trapping. Go to the car.
Go home. Go home. Go home. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12. Got off like a little gang. Look at him. Look at him. So, if anybody wonders why black people complain about shit, it's because their cars get pulled over and taken from them for a expired tag or a tag that he just got for that car. He hasn't had the car long. So yeah, just had the car, probably had the car maybe 45 days, 50 days maybe. So, this is where we are. They can, but it's always about the discretion of the officer. It's always about the discretion.
That's the same officer that pulled us over yesterday. The same one.
So here's why I'm gonna disagree with you. See where he's at? Man, right here, they can. Listen, hear me out.
Right here too.
It's their discretion.
So what is
their discretion? If he's parked over there, they can't touch his car. If he's on a sidewalk where he's parked at, they can. But with him being a deterrent, they always gonna get you a deterrent hidden because you can't move right. With the lines, you can't even move right.
They programmed another key to get in his trunk. That's how they got in his trunk. That's what
So they wow. They programmed the key to get into his trunk.
Wow,
that's crazy. Do y'all not, man? Y'all better speak up about y'all place. I'm trying to tell y'all right now. Like in Indiana, the fact that this is not Louisville, that this is Indiana. You feel me?
Surround the whole thing.
I'm trying to tell you, 2021 is turning out great for me because I wanted so much for this movement to come over here because this is where I see corruption at on a daily basis. It's here now. It will be addressed. But once again, Louisville came over here to show support as always.
But tomorrow.
Noon. Hey, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I was looking for y'all. Where he at? Okay. Yeah, they gonna go line up over there. That's where they about to go park up at over there. Alright, y'all, we about to go make a move.
We must either butcher them or civilize them. And what we do, we must do quickly. You saw child soldiers, not students, at an army base, not a school. A native father, Spotted Tail, upon visiting the Carlisle residential school, found that his own son faced a court-martial for bad behavior and was confined to the guardhouse for a week. The military jail originally built to house prisoners during the Revolutionary War. Hold on. Tactics shifted after trying to battle the natives out of their land and realizing that they wouldn't give up and they wouldn't quit. So they shifted the tactics to starving out the militant Lakotas by killing off the remaining buffalo herd, primary food source, making reservation life not a choice but a necessity for survival. The next step was to undermine customary authority, weaponizing native kinship systems against reservation leadership. The Carlisle Residential School was established to intern, so to speak, the children of leadership, to hold them as hostage so that their fathers would not be so warlike and fucking resist. Child removal is a long-standing practice ultimately created to take away native land. Although Carlisle is located in the east, it played a key role in pressuring the westmost intransigent tribes to cede and sell land by taking their children hostage. Parents were heartbroken. Up until then, the Lakota leadership had put up a united front opposing the 1887 Dawes Act, which proposed to allot reservation land by parceling out individual plots to individual Lakota families and selling off surplus lands to white settlers. Given the forced starvation already occurring on reservations and the land loss of the Black Hills, the horror of the unexplained deaths of boarding school children was just too much to bear. During a congressional hearing in Washington, D.C. in December 1889, Lakota and Dakota leadership discussed the loss of their children in regard to their decision to finally accept allotment. Coupled with the slashing of food rations, the taking of their children was like cutting off our heads. American Horse from Pine Ridge told the commission. Hoping to ease the pangs of hunger and reunite with their children, the Lakota and Dakota leaders accepted the Great Sioux Agreement of 1889, which opened up 9 million acres for white settlement and created the 6 modern Sioux reservations of Pine Ridge, Rosebud, Cheyenne River, Standing Rock, Lower Brule, and Crow Creek. Sometimes resistant fathers found themselves locked up for refusal to hand over their children. In 1895, 19 men of the Hopi Nation were imprisoned at Alcatraz because they refused to send their children to the boarding schools. Between 1887 and 1932, federal allotment policy, which coincided with the peak of government runoff, reservation Indian boarding schools devoured 91 million acres of native land. In total, 2/3 of all tribal lands were lost, an area nearly the size of what is currently the state of Montana. A native father proclaimed, "The worst thing is to lose a child," he tells me. "The second is to lose your mother. The third is to lose your father. The fourth one is to not to know where a warrior lives." The heavy price of losing relatives was intertwined with the loss of homelands. That was a quote from a paper I read last night. Parents petitioned the Commissioner of Indian Affairs to have the bodies of the children who returned home that died at these residential schools, but were denied to discourage other parents from making the same request. While it was willing to expend resources taking children from their parents and shipping them off to far-off boarding schools, the Indian Bureau considered it impractical to send their bodies home when they died. The National Archives in Washington, D.C. holds the majority of thousands of those student files. Children's death records are kept on an index card in shoeboxes, simply labeled the dead files. But the records themselves are incomplete. All of the male children with the last names L through Z are missing. The bodies might not even be at Carlisle, that first Indian boarding school, because the children who didn't die on campus were sent home to die, and the tribes might not have reported the deaths. Others died at nearby sanatoriums. At least 11 died while in the so-called outing program, which put Native children to work for little or no pay for white families in Pennsylvania, New York, or New Jersey as housekeepers or farm laborers, or what we know as enslavement. In one boarding school, the skeletal remains of babies were discovered in the walls after the school was torn down. This from a 59-page report that the United Nations published on their findings of the crimes that occurred in residential schools. The training prepared Native children to be assimilated into the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. I know this is long, but hang in there with me. This has been a long history for Native Americans. It might be cold, it might be windy, but we gotta get through this.
Facts.
For the most part, schools primarily prepared Native boys for manual labor or farming, and Native girls for domestic work. Children were also involuntarily leased out to white homes as menial labor during the summers, as we just learned, then sent back to their homes. Indian girls learned skills such as ironing, sewing, washing, serving raw oysters at cocktail parties, and making attractive flower arrangements in order to transform themselves into middle-class housewives. Thus, the primary role of education for Native girls was to inculcate patriarchal norms and desires into previously non-patriarchal communities so that women would lose their traditional places of leadership in Native communities. According to the Indian Affairs' own statistics, by 1938, 75% of Aboriginal children were below grade 3 level, and only 3 in 100 made it past grade level 6. By comparison to other schools, half the children in school were past grade 3 level, and one third were past grade level, 6th grade level. By 1986, nearly half of all Indigenous peoples on reserves had less than a grade 9 education, and less than 1/4 had attained a high school diploma. Only 65.5% of Native Americans graduated from high school, compared with 75.2% for the U.S. population as a whole. Only 9.3% of Native students graduate from college, less than half of the general population. Some Indigenous peoples complain that even tribal schools often emphasize athletics over academics. Infectious disease was often widespread at schools due to malnutrition, overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions, and students weakened by overwork. The report said that death rates for Native American students were 6.5 times higher than for other ethnic groups. And often underpaid staff provided irregular medical care. And not least apathetic, boarding school officials frequently failed to heed their own directions, calling for the segregation of children in poor health from the rest of the student body. Often students were prevented from communicating with their families, and parents were not notified when their children fell ill. The rationale for choosing cultural rather than physical genocide was often economic. This is so the fucking government could save $1 about killing the natives off. Carl Schurz concluded that it would cost $1 million to kill an Indian in warfare, whereas it would only cost $1,200 to school an Indian child for 8 years. Likewise, the Secretary of the Interior, Henry Teller, argued that it would cost $22 million to wage war against Indians over a 10-year period, but would cost less than a quarter of that amount to educate 30,000 children for a fucking year. 14. Consequently, these schools were administered as inexpensively as possible. Children were given inadequate food and medical care, and conditions were often overcrowded in these schools. According to the Boarding School Healing Project, Native children in South Dakota schools were often fed only one sandwich for a whole day. As a result, children routinely died in mass numbers of starvation and disease. Other children died from common medical ailments because of medical neglect. In addition, children were often forced to do grueling work in order to raise monies for the schools and salaries for the teachers and administrators. Some boarding school survivors have reported children being killed because they were forced to operate dangerous machinery. Children were never compensated for their labor. Children were often forced to beat other children. A common punishment was that children were frequently sent through whipping lines to be beaten by the other children at school. Many indigenous peoples also report that the highly regimented nature of boarding schools and often instilled in them passivity rather than initiative, entrapping them in a life resulting in additional forms of institutionalization, such as prison. In 1987, the FBI found that one teacher at the Bureau of Indian Affairs who administered a Hopi Day school in Arizona had sexually abused over 142 boys. But the school's principal had never investigated any allegations of abuse. Another instructor taught at a BIA school on the Navajo reservation before 12 children came forward with allegations of molestation. North Carolina BIA school instructor was employed between the years of 1971 to 1985 before he was arrested for assaulting boys. In all cases, the BIA supervisors ignored complaints from the parents before the arrests of these teachers. In one case, a boarding school teacher admitted on his job application that he has been arrested for child sexual abuse. He was hired anyway at the Kaibito boarding school on the Navajo reservation. He was later convicted of sexual abuse against Navajo students. There are reports of child molestation is a current major problem in Indian boarding schools, but there's been little effort by the federal government to implement policies to address this problem. There are reports by both male and female school persons routinely abuse Native children, sometimes leading to suicides among these children. This is to quote a 9-year-old girl in one of these residential schools. After a 9-year-old girl was raped in her dormitory bed during the night, the girls would be so scared that we would jump into each other's beds as soon as the lights went out. The sustained terror in our hearts further tested our endurance, as it was better to suffer with a full bladder and be safe than to walk through the dark, seemingly endless hallway to the bathroom. When we were older, we girls anguished each time we entered the classroom of a certain male teacher who stalked and molested girls. BC Supreme Court Justice Douglas Hogarth described the residential school system as nothing more than institutionalized pedophilia. When this abuse became public, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police started a task force to investigate allegations of abuse in residential schools. By 2000, they had received 3,400 complaints against 170 suspects. Only 5 people were charged. By 2001, 16,000 Indigenous peoples had brought a legal claim against the church or government. Still, very few perpetrators actually received criminal convictions. In 1991, the Indian Affairs Minister refused demands for an Indigenous inquiry into residential schools. He said there would be no apology, no compensation, no admission of government liability, and he said he would shelve any recommendations for a Royal Commission on Indigenous peoples, which was conducting a report that included residential schools. Instead, rather than focus on government accountability, the government strategy...
That's right, Darwin. It's
This focus was criticized by many as an attempt to allow the government to escape accountability by framing the issue as one where Indigenous peoples were sick and needed healing. I happen to know another country that acts just like that. We're standing in it.
Facts.
This brings us to today. Walk through the prison system a little bit about how Native
Am I on woke right now?
And now, what's being done, right? How does this affect kids a little bit? The proposed Keystone XL pipeline route digs through a patchwork of privately and privately owned land in the northeastern part of the Rosebud Reservation. The fragmentation of this part of the reservation is a direct result of the Dawes Act, which the tribe accepted on the condition of its children coming home from boarding school, a promise that never materialized. So when you hear all of us talking about pipelines running through our land, on the condition that we can have our fucking children's bodies back, we couldn't even get them. And they're still gonna go in there and break trees and take that oil. The largest boarding schools have closed. By 2000, most of the schools have been closed down, and the number of Native American children in boarding schools has declined to 9,500. Taking into consideration, it became illegal in 1978.
Jesus
2007,
Christ.
and they still have boarding schools in this nation.
Wow. That's
now the schools have
insane.
become a necessary evil as the only places children can be immersed in indigenous language and culture, and as a safe place from the racism they would experience in other schools of mixed ethnicity. Although President Barack Obama signed the Native American Apology Resolution on December 19, 2009, apologizing for the past, ill-conceived policies towards the Native people of this land, the resolution has had no impact on federal policy toward Native Americans. With its disclaimer against any legal claims, the resolution faded into the woodwork work of legislative paperwork. Again, nothing will be done for the healing of the natives of this land. Attempts at gaining reparations at the state legislative level have failed too. February of
I have one home style or chili fry large burger. Anything else?
Yeah. Also, could I get? What do you like? Oh, there you go. Stuffed jalapenos.
Yeah.
Can I get a 7-piece of those?
Don't ask me what I want. You know how to get everything.
I'll get whatever you want, man.
The 3-piece or the 7-piece?
7-piece, please.
Okay.
What else looks good, man? Can I also get a box of those tiny tacos?
Yeah, do you want the regular or the loaded?
Loaded.
Okay. Anything else?
What's that?
Are those crunchy or soft?
Oh, they're kind of in between. Yeah, I can't. I don't really like crunchy tacos either. Actually, no, never mind the tacos. Those are like crunchy tacos, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, never mind. Don't worry about the tacos. We're gonna skip those.
Okay, so take off the tiny tacos.
Yeah. How about we do a 10-piece of the chicken nuggets? How about those? Those sound bomb?
What about that chicken fajita pita?
And a chicken fajita pita.
We can't do that.
No, oh, because it's grilled. Oh, you got me on that one. Okay. I got 7 of those for you. How about some? Oh, you know what would be bomb? Those. Can I also get one of those chocolate overload cakes?
Yeah.
You like chocolate, right?
Actually, I'm not a fan of chocolate.
Oh, I changed my mind. What about the mini churros? Those are pretty bomb.
Yeah.
Can I get a 5-piece mini churro instead of the cake?
Yeah.
Okay. And a cheesecake?
And cheesecake?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like to get a actually I'll get another one of those a number 12 with regular fries and a Coke.
Large?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Actually, no, that can be regular. That doesn't need to be large. Whatever. It's already typed in. You're good. Leave it there.
Medium instead of a large?
It's already. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Do it just how it is.
Okay.
And if you could put the that home style, the last number 12, like just throw that stuff in a separate bag.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And yeah, that's good.
Okay, it'll be 42.47 in the window.
All right, thank you.
You have some of that stuff,
Oh yeah, I got a meal for me. Thank you, sure. So you can have some of that too. Yeah.